And I was wondering, like, why I have to be fitting in? So I think Japanese culture is like, a lot of people say, "Oh, Japanese people are so nice." Like I always say, like, my skin is not that dark, but I'm a little bit darker skin if you live in Japan. So I have big lips, I have more bigger eyes. So I was
Mhm.
actually bullied by a Japanese a student
Okay.
when I was elementary school and junior high school. And when I was dating with my ex-husband, I didn't understand it, but I was telling him that every time you talk to a black girl outside the ship when we were dating, why they never talk to me?
Hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Ranzo. For those of you guys who don't know, remember to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this and videos on the Black experience across Japan. Today we have with us Ayumi. So Ayumi is the mom of three mixed or Blasian kids, and she's gonna share her story being a mother of three Blasian kids. That's Black and Japanese. So Ayumi, thank you so much for coming on.
Hi everyone, my name is Ayumi. Nice to meet you, everybody.
All right.
So
So I want you to tell me your story. Tell me about some of the struggles you faced, right? Because you said that you faced struggles in Japan and America as well, right? With your three mixed kids. Could you walk us through that?
okay, no problem. So I came to here like 2005 to San
Hmm.
Diego from Japan.
Hmm.
So I didn't know anything about America. I was speaking a little bit English. So I then become a single mom in 2 years. Can you believe that? And I didn't know anything about America. I was speaking a little bit, but it didn't hit me until I start living in the United States. In America, first of all, I think I get like a little prejudice from everybody, sometimes from black people towards me, and
Okay.
sometimes prejudice towards from, of course, like whites, or you
Hmm.
have a mixed kids. And believe it or not, San Diego is diverse, city. There's many white, black, Asian, everybody, but I
Hmm.
have sometimes encounter, some racism, towards me. And but it's not so bad in San Diego. But when I decided to go back to Japan,
Hmm.
I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, become, really sick and ill because, you become a single mom in different country and you have three little children, you know.
Hmm.
So I decided to go back and I talked to my mom, like, can I live it in your house? That was a really bad idea because my mom was a single mom. So
Hmm.
she has the idea of, yes, that's her grandchildren, but you know what I mean, she's Japanese, I'm Japanese, and I start seeing uh my especially my oldest daughter, that time I think she was third grade, I
Hmm.
think fourth grade in America, but the Japan is one grade down, so third grade. In the
Okay.
beginning, I guess my daughter had like, everybody's staring at me, mom, everybody think I'm a Hollywood star and all that stuff because we're in living not in the Yokosuka or like the base area. We were a
Hmm.
little bit away from the Yokosuka area, so people were really never
But in
see.
Tokyo, were you in Tokyo?
I'm from Tokyo, but I was in a Kanagawa. It's called
Okay.
Chigasaki. Yeah,
Okay.
like a
Okay.
beach area.
Mhm.
So my daughter started, experience like they were talking about her really good, and then after 2 3 weeks later, she couldn't speak back Japanese, but the Japanese students they all start talking about her behind her back or like maybe right in front of her because they thought that she doesn't understand. And
Okay.
she comes home crying, "Mom, I don't want to go to this school." And I really wanted to put them in the school on base, but because I divorced, I couldn't put
Hmm.
my kids in the base because I'm not their dad. So I had
Hmm.
to put them in a regular school. And I was like struggle, like, you know what, this is my daughter. And I talked to my
Yeah.
mom, who is very strong, single mom. And she's like, no, you need to tell your daughter to suck it up and go to school. And there you go. Now me and my mom start fighting because I had to
Okay.
talk to her. You're a Japanese mom, but she's half black and Japanese. And then, I was there away from the Japan for 5 years. So I even myself feel like I'm half Japanese and not black, but the Japanese American. So I was
Hmm.
telling her that you don't understand because Japanese, and then it was really crazy. And but funny is the thing, boys are always get along with each other everywhere in the
Okay.
world. The female's
Okay.
the one that's different. So my oldest son, he had a really great time. Like all these Japanese kids was helping him. You know, he was really shy, but helping him, and he was okay. But my daughter had really, really bad experience.
Hmm.
And one of the girl actually bullying my daughter was, this is crazy. This girl was Japanese and African girl.
Okay,
So
really? Wow.
yeah, she was the leader to start bullying my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really, really sad. I was like very sad. But I think the matter of that black African and Japanese girl, she was raised in Japan, so she speak Japanese floating, you know. And my
Hmm.
daughter, for them, is like, oh my gosh, she's the star. She speak English and look different. So I think that she start getting jealous of my daughter because she doesn't
Okay.
speak English. Yeah. So then I stayed there for a little while, and then I decided to, because me and my mom would fight, like a really physical fight outside,
Okay.
and I bring all my kids back to the United States. This is like a short story of it, but I was, when I was 16, I was already having a lot of American and foreigner friends in Japan, and like
Hmm.
I said, I was commenting your one of a video that I wasn't fitting in Japan somehow. I was very outgoing person. I was very different from other children. And early age, I used to go out to become backpacker to go into other country. So my
Hmm.
mindset was really different. And I can't imagine if I was just a regular, Japanese mom, because
Yeah.
I hear that like, oh, you need to, do the same thing what everybody else to do. I wasn't the type person. I was always getting in trouble with my mom. So, but that was really, really hard because, we have to move around everywhere.
Hmm.
All my three children were born in Japan, like on base, Yokosuka base and
Okay.
Yokohama.
Hmm.
So they have experience when they're little baby. They used to go to preschool in Japan. But if you're really little, they don't understand. I remember this girl was saying that why your daughter's skin is like that, or like they're touching my daughter's hair. But my children, they didn't really understand what that mean. But when they
Okay.
getting older, third grade, fourth grade, that's the time it's really hard. And I'm the type of person, yes, my kids are very tough. They went through a lot, but I also, when they're little, I'm the only one can protect them, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, I have a lot of episode in Japan, like this Japanese mom came up to us. My daughter gave a little flower to this little Japanese girl at the park. And then her mama came right away and then took the flower, just throw it. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just like,
Wow.
back then I was very more like heated up. So I was like, what would you even do that? That's like a really, really bad. Like, and she just ignored it, walk away. But it's very hard that every half black and Japanese or Asian, they have to go through all that. So as a parents, really, really have to be sensitive about, children's feeling, because
Hmm.
even now my daughter, she is interested about Japanese culture because she's 20 years old now.
Okay.
But for a while, my kids is like, I'm not Asian, I'm a black. And then I have to tell them, you have to embrace both culture, and what you saw in Japan, that's not the only one things. So
Hmm.
I always talk to them like, go to global. People do whatever do. We can't control it. We can pray
Yeah.
for the spirit. The spirit is the carrying, um, you know, spirits in them is doing those behavior. So I'm like always telling them that. And
Yeah.
my daughter actually now she really want to go to Korea or Japan to maybe, I don't know, teach English or whatever. But I was telling her that you don't have to go to school now. Like when she was little, she have to go to
Hmm.
school. Now you just go visit, and you have all the talents and gifts, and you should use it either United States or Japan or Africa or any places. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was very, very hard for me to. I didn't speak good English as well, so for me to raise in three half, Malaysian children, but now
Yeah.
they embrace it. Like, oh, I'm black and Japanese and black and Japanese. So, that's really good.
You met your children's father in Japan.
Yes, this is basically the other girl was saying really typical story. You know, I met him to 1998 or something, but I was
Okay.
already being around military people like when I was 16. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So
Mhm.
what drew you initially to I guess the black culture or black people? What was it that, attracted you to like black people specifically?
Oh my
Was it
God,
was
my
it the
daughter.
music or the fashion or what was it?
Oh, that's a part of it. You know, I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything, but I was really different child. My mother was telling you that. When I was 13, I was explore reggae music. That's 13
Okay.
years old. And I was listening hip, Japanese pop too, but I like the Bob Marley,
Hmm.
and I started listening Whitney Houston. And then I met this little bit, maybe 5 or 6 years older than me, the lady who lived close to my area in Tokyo. She always have very nice different hair, and she has tan, as a Japanese
Yeah.
woman. So I was asking her, her name's Nana. And I was like,
Mhm.
Nana-chan, why are you wearing like that? And then one day she showed me the picture of a black man. Has like, the hair, like what do you call that one?
Yeah. I think it's like a box cut kinda, I think.
Yeah. And I was like, who is this person? Is he from Africa? And then she goes like, no, not black people is not only from Africa. You mean the black people living in the United States and they call African American. And I was like, hmm. And then this is a weird true story. She gave me this mixtape of New Jack City.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I was like, this sounds so trouble. I remember that when I listened, it sounds like I'm doing some bad thing or something, even though I didn't understand. And I started listening those music. And next, I think I was really interested, not only just African American, yes, I really attracted to somehow black people's skin somehow.
Okay.
I don't need to be any disrespect or anything like that. But I used to take this poster from my school. It shows like you're gonna go to Africa and helping these African children, whatever the mom
Mhm.
and children picture. I got
Yeah.
the poster, just tear it up from the school.
Mhm.
I put it in my room, and my room was almost like an island, like reggae kind of. And my
Okay,
mom
okay.
opened the door, and then she was like, "What are you doing?" But
Mhm.
like really attracted to, I don't know. I really don't know why. But then I started going to other countries like Indonesia, Bali. It's not Africa or any, you know, Jamaica, but I always like different music, different world music.
Yeah.
And after that, I encountered my other elementary school friend, Japanese friend, and she has
Mhm.
another girlfriend who came to United States to learn English, and she already have like I guess black friends, and she asked me to go out to club with her.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, no problem. I go to club, like a Japanese people club, and I like hip hop or reggae. So she asked me to go. And at this point, I was like, oh my God, I really like it. And I think another thing was really wanted to learn English at the time when I was
Mhm.
like around 16 or something. So I started going out the club, which is I was always telling my kids that, Mom, you should be telling us this story. But I was like, I'm not hiding everything. And I
Yeah.
was learning English the same time, go home, study, and go out talking to people. I had a lot of black girlfriends, white too, Hispanic, everybody. And I started
Mhm.
making friends. And then I guess later on, I met my ex-husband. Two other
Okay.
Japanese girl already met the black man, and then they asked me, "Can you go out with us?" And another guy's coming. I wasn't really
Okay.
go for it. I was like, I don't care. And then I went out, and then we started dating, and everybody else broke up, but me and my ex-husband, you know, we married,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's like make it really short, but that's the story.
Okay, so you met your husband in Japan, got married in Japan. When did you decide to move to America initially? Was it because of a different assignment for him, like a new order, or you wanted to just take your children to the States?
So basically, after 60 years of marriage, and it was rare, you probably met so many military people. They usually 2, 3 years and station will change. But somehow my ex-husband's ship would stay there, and then he will luckily stay in Japan so long. So I didn't even think I'm going to other country. I was telling him,
Okay.
"You're gonna stay in Japan? You're gonna stay in Japan?" but his station changed to San Diego. But we are not really doing good as a marriage couple. And so after we moved to San Diego in California, and then as I divorced after in 2 years.
I've interviewed a few mixed kids, right? Blasian kids, and it seems like most of their parents seems to be divorced. So what do you think is one of the reasons for that? Is it cultural differences? What do you think is the reason for the divorce between like Black and Japanese? The
At
divorce
that point, I don't think a culture different because I was pretty much very open-minded person. So yes, I still do my practice, like, or not practice, my culture and what I eat, what I like. But I problem was we were young, of course, just like normal. It doesn't matter if I'm a Japanese or Black, like Japanese couple. We were young, and he's from a lot of stuff. Like the family was very, very rough, Most of the people, that's why they joined the military. So we're cool. We talk, everything. But at the time, he was like, he liked another woman, and he was just like a kid. And then I found out like at least three days right before we moved to San Diego. So I kind of was like a numb, I wasn't really upset or anything. I was like, oh, okay. And then after move to San Diego, I kind of forgave him, but then he was doing it like, talking to another woman and stuff. So I was raised by a single mom. I wasn't the type of woman stay in a marriage like that, if it's not happy. And it didn't seem as like he changed. So I decided to divorce. But I was really, really scared because most of wives that are friends of who divorced with the military guy, they usually go back to Japan right away. But I was a tough one. So you know what? I'm just gonna stay here, see how it goes. So I decided to stay, which at the time he didn't like it. He thought I'm going back to Japan, bring my kids. Yeah, that was very sad. But everybody make a mistake. A lot to do with the person who was raised by the parents, all the trauma and background that will make us do certain behavior. So we were still friends. My kids are actually living with their dad in Dallas, Texas. Yeah.
So after that, so when you got divorced, you remained in America for how long before you moved back to Japan the first time?
That was like 5 years.
So 5 years after divorce, you stayed in America.
Yeah, no. So we were married 6 years and then moved to here. So marriage was 8 years and I divorced. And I stayed here 5 years in San Diego. I started getting sick because, I become a single mom, work day and night, taking care of 3 kids. And then, so basically I got really, really sick. I started going ER a lot. And I talked to my mom, can I just go back to Japan, stay a little bit, just maybe see the doctor? I wasn't really planning to stay there because it seems like I'm an Asian. So it's kind of like my culture. If you're going back to crying and go back to Japan, it's like you are stay there. You're weak. Yeah. So I just stayed, but then went to Japan, but it didn't work out because my mama, she didn't understand. I'm an independent woman. She's an independent woman. It get like this. So I decided to came back to the United States.
Okay. So how long were you in Japan before you returned to America?
Probably one time I stayed 6 months and it came back and go back. So it's probably total is that just a year.
Okay. So you went with your kids, all 3 kids at the time?
Yes.
And then you came back. Okay. So could you tell me about maybe a little bit about the Japanese mindset when it comes on to like being different, right? Because you said you were different from you were younger, right? Tell me a little bit about the Japanese culture that people might not understand when it comes on to how they handle someone that's different.
Oh my goodness, that's really like about me and my mama's relationship. But when I was kids, actually, my skin is not that dark, but I'm a little bit darker skin if you live in Japan. So I have big lips, I have more bigger eyes. So I was actually bullied by a student when I was elementary school and junior high school. And of course, I didn't understand why everybody tell me, you look like a fish because I have big lips, and then of course Asian eyes, but it's a little bit bigger. and my skin was darker. And you know how when you have really dark skin, you have like a lot of line. It looks like a lot of lines. And people were
Okay.
telling me why your skin are more darker. And I don't know, they were telling me all kind of stuff. So I was always doing this to try not to show it
Yeah.
and trying to make my lips like small. You
Yeah.
know, all the half black kids, and they have to go through the same thing. And I was wondering like why I have to be fitting in. So I think Japanese culture is like a lot of people say, "Oh, Japanese people are so nice." Like I always say, like they might be acting that, but sometimes in their heart is different. Like I can tell you this truth because my mother's like that. She would say she would do things for you, a lot of things, and you think she's nice. I'm
Mhm.
saying that she's nice. She's not evil or anything, but later on she'll complain. Ah, I'm so tired. I don't want to do this. I want to do that. And then I had to tell my mom when she came to the United States, like 4 years ago. She lived with me 4 years in here,
Mhm.
and she was doing it all the time. So I had to tell her that if you don't like it, tell them no, you can't do
Mhm.
it. But I think that's the Japanese culture. They will say yes all the time, and they will be nice, but then sometimes they don't want to do it what they actually told you. Oh, I want to help you. I want to do it. So that's kind of irritating me now because I was in that society before, but
Mhm.
I'm a more direct person already, and then I came to America and become probably change myself too more. So つまらないもの is like this is not worth it. This is not
Mhm.
worth it, but I give you. It's just so weird if you really pay attention. We say that when you go to a neighbor, you just move to a new area and you go to neighbors, give this gift. That's what we say. This is like a つまらないものですけど please receive it. Like it's not worth it. Like it's almost like humbleness kind of meaning. But like
Mhm.
if it's not worth it, why you have to give it to the person? Like so for me, a lot to do with customs, but I just don't like that my mother was telling me that my kids have to be fitting in, just be quiet, just be, I don't know, don't say nothing, just follow them. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to discipline my kids like that way. So
Okay. So when your mom was living with you in America, did her mindset change or she just remained the same way in America?
first year it was very tough because can you imagine me as I understand English and Japanese? So I'm a middle. My
Mhm.
three kids have become a teenager. My mom is 74 or 72 at the time. So we live in a small apartment. So yes, she will complain about my two boys' room. It stinks and smell bad, whatever. And she'll come up to me. How come you a mom and you don't say, you don't go clean up in their room? So I said, that's not my room. So if I'm telling my two boys to clean up that they don't do it, I'll be watching them because I don't say nothing to my two boys. It doesn't mean that I don't care. I've been watching. I have time to come to the room. If they don't do it, I'll take everything out their room, outside the apartment. They're gonna clean whatever. But my
Mhm.
mom is a type person, and of course the culture and the generation is different. So she goes in their room, start cleaning up. So now my two teenagers come up to me, Mom, it's so annoying. Like grandma come to my room. Now I can't find whatever, whatever, whatever. And
Mhm.
I will be in the middle, talk to my kids that you guys, if someone have to come in your room and clean up, that means you should be cleaning up a long time ago. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I had to talk to my mom. That's disrespectful. You go into the room and I'm a mom. So I be watching, I'm going to say something, but you jumping up and do things, and that's not okay. So there's so much cultural difference.
Yeah.
But I'm glad because my oldest son, he was like, I cannot deal with, grandmom. I cannot deal with the grandmom. But they have really tight relationship as well. So I think
Okay.
she will, adapt it, trying to understand. And she used to be everything has to be her way. Coming to my room, can you help me now? Like, but I was just like, I'm taking my time. That it's not like I have to do something so I can't do your favor, but I have a right to say no because I don't feel like it. But I will tell you I can get done by Wednesday or Thursday. I
Mhm.
have to training her like that way because otherwise
Okay.
I'm gonna be silently, she's bossing me around and I have to do exactly. I have a trauma and I have fear. to my
Okay.
mom because she raised me like that way for a long time. I had anxiety, but I have to change myself that it's not good for me and it's not good for my children. But I think I don't blame on her because her generation's different. That's how she was raised. You know, she didn't have a mom and dad. So like I say, everybody have backgrounds different. So trying to understand, but you still have
Yeah.
to brave enough to say no. That
Okay.
more. Yes, yes, yes. Hmm.
So your kids, right? So you said, is it only your daughter that wants to move to Japan to experience Japan, or all your kids want to move to Japan to check it out?
More so right now, my daughter.
Hmm.
My oldest son, he used to really like, I'm not Asian, I'm not Asian, like, but I was like, boy, you look like me. So I think he's getting it. I think a lot to do with the teenager trying to find out, you know, their identity. Um, so as right now, my daughter, yes. And my little one recently, it was so funny. He was like, Mom, I want to change my name because my daughter's name is Natsumi. I named her. And their dad named two boys, so they don't know Japanese name. But somehow my little one would start asking me, Mom, I don't want to be Corbin. I want to be Makoto Corbin. You know, like he's searching the Japanese name. So
Okay.
I think that's really good. You know, I think one day my kid's really gonna go back to Japan or globally working. I really can see that.
Okay. So do they speak Japanese now, or do they understand it?
That's a very, very hard question because I used to thought that, you know, if you're Japanese mom and you have half kids, you should be teaching, you know, the language. But my case is very hard because I become a single mom and I wasn't even, you know, I had to speak English at work and my kids have a lot of homework, English homework. So I tried so hard to teach them when we were in Japan and United States, but it was too much for me. They didn't want to do it. I'm the only one really like pumped up and, you know, sit down and teaching. So I just
Mhm.
one day say that, you know what, guys, I'm here. Anytime you want to learn Japanese, you want to speak Japanese, mommy speaks Japanese. So, but I'm not going to kill myself to put all the material sitting down. You don't even want to do it because they didn't want to do at all. Like, I don't care about Japanese. You know, I think that's the age. But now
Okay.
my daughter, she will like Japanese song and she can sing some Japanese song. There's a lot of Janet Aiko and Joyce Rice. You know, she's from San Diego. I know her mom, but those half Japanese and Black artists coming up. So I think that's a lot of, you know, impacting my kids and influence my kids. So, but I'm not rushing. I think on their own timing, God's timing, and you know, God's going to review their gifts and talents, I think.
So the experience for them, they left Japan when they were like what, 2, 3, 5? What age?
So my little one was not even 2 years old yet. So
Okay.
yeah, four, maybe three, four, about the 2 years or something like that. Mhm.
Okay. And the experience in America, do they face any discrimination or anything, or is just normal? I think for the most part, being mixed in America is okay.
Yeah, especially
Is
when
it?
they're young, they don't understand and they forget all the bad stuff. Because I'm actually a preschool teacher over
Okay.
2 years and 3 years old. So I recognize that, you know, the kids smack other kids and then I'll, you know, make them calm down, whatever. They forget about it. So, but at the same time, I moved from Japan to San Diego and I moved so much in San Diego, inside of San Diego.
Mhm.
And then I moved to BA one time because me and my their dad trying to work it out. It didn't work out, but I drove from here to Texas and Texas to BA, came all the way back. So my kids are always tell me that, Mom, you are the bad guy. You know, we don't want to leave the school, but you make always change. So I was being 11 years single mom. My oldest son will tell you, Mom, you
Mhm.
are the bad guy. And I was like, thank
Okay.
you. 365 days, 24 hours. But three or 4 years ago, I actually went to ER again because I was doing too much for all of them, my mom
Okay.
and the 3 kids. So I decided to pick up my phone and call my ex-husband. I heard that you were, you know, you getting out for military, and are you ready to take care of your own children? Because he wasn't in the picture at all.
Okay.
So, but I'm the type of person, I'm not a, you know, those women who trying to take the children away from the father. He said, yeah, I'm ready. So I told my kids that your dad's coming get you. And that's the time my oldest one say that I hate you, kind of like, I don't want to go. My life is here. I was like, boy, you don't know. This life is all over. So,
Yeah.
but I decided to say no. I have to start taking care of myself because it was so much to me. So I sent my daughter went to dad first in the first year, and then the year later, the dad came to pick up oldest and then the little one. So they've been living there about 3 or 4 years, and then I recently moved to Dallas, Texas, like
Okay.
2 months ago. Yeah, drove from San Diego. Trying to get it close to my kids, but it's not so much because they're grown up, so they can take care of themselves. But
Okay. All right. So, any advice, like anything that you've learned through your journey that you can share with, maybe even mixed kids who are watching this, or black fathers or mothers that are married to Japanese people? Any advice that you've, garnered through your experience that you can share with them?
yes, yes, you know what? Everybody's a different background, but just to encourage your children that they are, you know, all of the children precious. Doesn't matter it's a black or Asian, but to to know that half kids they're going through a lot. They're going through a lot. So just to sensitive about their feeling
Mhm.
and always communicate each other. Don't hide anything, and having black kids, yes. Just like the other girl was saying, like your insecurity, you think, oh, I'm not enough because my daughter, she still does that. Look at this Instagram model, mama. You think she's beautiful? I was like, okay, she's beautiful, but what she does, you know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
more inside. So I want to young, people, black and Asian, whatever, fixed, mixed children to embrace both culture. And
Mhm.
you might not understand it because you're young. You want to be Japanese. You want to be black. Because my kids are have the time that they want to be just black. They want to be Asian. They don't want to be close to the black people. But I think later on it's coming to you and just to embrace both culture, and you are so worth it, and you are so beautiful. You have so much talents and gifts that God gave you, and I'm so thankful that I am a, I guess, Christian, but I don't want to call myself Christian. I am a disciple of Jesus, and it
Mhm.
really helps me to be in a very disciplined life that I have, and I'm in a soldier of Christ. This is
Yeah.
actually CC and Captain probably watching. They are black, African American leadership, and we have mixed like me, Japanese and Spanish, and that's become it should be normal like that. Jesus didn't
Yeah.
just love one race. We all different looking, and we lift up each other. We all different and beautiful.
Yeah.
So mom and dad just to um, stay with them, take time and do everything. Don't rush. Trying to understand the children's needs and kind of observe, and also not to always trying to help them all the time. It's not good either. So it is hard, but pray
Mhm.
to God and God will speak to you. And yeah, it's just tough time. It struggles. Jesus says
Yeah.
struggle is good because if you obeying, you doing the right thing in His eyes, it's struggles come, and if you don't have
Yeah.
no struggles, something's wrong. So thankful that we have the struggles. Yes. Because some people say the struggle is like, oh, Satan, Satan. No, it's your mind doing it. And also that Soldier of Christ say that these are like a black men's street ministry in like, Dallas. But we have a
Okay.
soldier in San Diego. So if you
Mhm.
want to, connect to them, but we learn, my captain teach us recognize, rebuke, and cast it out, bandit, all those spirit that we have habits to do as a human,
Mhm.
and rastly resist it. So if you keep on doing it, you're gonna get used to it, and then you can teach your children as well if you wanna, know about it. Soldier of Christ, SOULJAHSOCHRIS.com, Soldier of Christ. We
Mhm.
have a service 11 a.m. as well. So just come to the YouTube and then check it out. But um, yeah, just the life is great. So
Mhm.
I don't want nobody to be like this. Look around, because if
Yeah.
you be like that, you're gonna be closed-minded and fixed-minded, and you're gonna be judgmental Christian. I don't ever want people call me Christian. So
So do you think traveling is important for mixed kids, as well, to help them in the way that they see the world and experience the world?
yes, because I was thinking that, ooh, Japanese people's everything about America, we'd be like, ooh, America, America. I was the one of it. When I came here, wow, Japanese products, I'm not trying to be against or anything, like way better than America. We have good and bad both country. So I embrace both.
Yeah.
So if you only know Japan, America, you only know Japan, America. If you go to Jamaica, you see other people, how they eat. Indonesia people eat like this. That's not wrong or right. Because my kids like, Mama, you say tomato like that. That's not how you say it. But I was like, in Japan, we say tomato. So it's not wrong. You know what I mean? So your perspective is going to be
Yeah.
more wider. So I always, suggest my kids to go out there. I'm not going to worry about you. I know you guys are going to be okay. Go to Korea, Japan, any places. I will support them if they want to do business in Japan. Definitely, I will get
Mhm.
connected with my mom or friends, whoever. But I feel like um, it doesn't matter you are half or. I think you should be going to other countries, see other people, because life is only one time. And if
Mhm.
you see so many people living different way, and I was like, oh, that's how you do. Oh, okay, you make a friends, and now you have a connection. Close-minded people. Um, it's not good. And I think I was thinking a lot of people, America is big, the people,
Mhm.
certain people in Japan or whatever. My brother used to stay in one place. And once he came to the United States, his behavior, his talking way is different. So I definitely suggested, anybody just not staying in one place,
Oh, okay.
explore the world.
You said that you experienced discrimination from Black people as well. Like, in what
Mhm.
ways did you experience that, and how did you overcome that?
So it's just so funny, the area as well. Like I say, the person who was raised by their parents, that's a lot
Mhm.
to do with it. We call it generation curses too, but their mindset, their spirit they're carrying is not, um, bright one. So
Mhm.
believe it or not, San Diego is a lot of diverse people. But as you see, if I'm doing this hair,
Mhm.
some black girl's gonna say like, what are you doing, are you Asian, and I was thinking like, okay, but I don't mind my anybody trying to do Japanese kimono and put the hair on. So for
Mhm.
me, do whatever you like to do as long as you are not disrespecting the cultures and stuff like that. When I was dating with my ex-husband, I didn't understand it, but I was telling him that every time you talk to a black girl outside the ship when we were dating, why they never talk to me? Why you not introduce to me? I used to say that. And
Mhm.
I'm the type of person very sensitive. I'm a Pisces. I'm very sensitive. So I was like,
Okay.
I'm your girlfriend. We about to marry. Why you don't introduce to me? And his excuse was like, because I think they think that you don't speak English. Hmm. And then later on, I find out, you know what? Sometimes some sisters doesn't like the brothers dating other, you know, people from other country.
Races.
Yeah,
Mhm.
racist. So I was like, huh. And then yes, it might be true because I wasn't speak really good English, so they were kind of like afraid to talk to me. So sometimes it's about in your head. But I
Mhm.
have some people raised me toward to me or like you're not black, and then that's because you have black and half Japanese kids. Like, you can say that or you can be like that. In those Black Lives Matter time is that, because my heart was beating. My older son will wave to sometime police, and then he think that's funny. And I have to tell him that stop doing that. You welcome to to these people. I'm not saying the old police are bad, but
Mhm.
those time people can be very sensitive. So I was telling him to know. But when we have a conversation, is another black ladies, she would say, "You don't understand because you're not black," and I was like, yes, I understand. And on top of that, I've been really around, a lot of Black people since when I was 16. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to tell each person that story. If I say they're like, oh, okay, I understand. But I don't get offended. Texas, I don't really see anything, um, racism toward to me or anything. My Soldier of Christ, we have soul sisters,
Mhm.
DC and Karen, and everybody's they're all black lady. They were say, Ayumi, you got a hair done. I got hair done yesterday. They were like, now you are really soul sister. So I don't really experience, but I think a lot to do with your also personality as well. I'm honest, and sometimes I don't think and say it, but the person will understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And if you really, yeah, disrespectful person, they can be, telling you something what they want to say too. So you got to be sensitive as well, but at the same time, do whatever you like to do, as long as you're not disrespecting or like, I don't know, those boundaries are very hard to, define,
Mhm.
but I feel like I wasn't get so much, you know, racist back toward it to me or anything, but there is, yes, everywhere. I think it's everywhere.
Ayumi, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We appreciate it. And I'm sure that people that are watching right now will also, get some insight from your experience as well. So thank you again so much, for coming on. And guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this and videos on the Black experience in Japan as well. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.